Hello Ace Nation, I am longtime Ace Pro Wrestling fan Robert. Day of Reckoning 2014 is now in the books, and what a great show it was. Best show so far in this year, and the best show Ace has had since Crossroads 9 back in November. We kicked off with the Overdrive pre-show as we first saw Black Zemus defeat El Corazon Latino. I think Corazon Latino needs a little more work. The second match of the pre-show saw Showtime Chris Taylor take on Andy Lee Ray, which went to a no contest when Thorson Creed attacked both men. Creed took the microphone and announced that he's not a man of faith, but he's not a good man, he's not a bad man, but he's a violent man. I think many in the crowd got to him, and I think that's when he lost the crowd at that point. I could be wrong on that. Then we kick off Day of Reckoning with William Wyeth defeating Ultimo Maya in a very good singles matchup. Up next in tag team action, the Middle East Connection defeated Astro Morales and Bad Boy Danny Pagan. During this matchup, a masked man came out and had his eyes on Mr. Mustafa throughout the match, but when the match ended, the masked man went back through the curtain. From there, the Remix of Pro Wrestling Vince Steele defeated Tommy the Moose to retain the Diamond Division Championship in a very good, hard-fought matchup. At that point, Jorge Luis Rivera came out and announced to the crowd that he was happy to be back in Ace after getting hurt 11 months ago. And then he addressed Mike Morgan Jr., saying that he's called, texted, and emailed him and gets no answers. Mike Jr. comes out with the Devil's Outlaw Stockade and New Age Wrecking Crew member Debbie Kane, and Jr. says that he hasn't responded because he feels Jorge is part of the past and Jr. cares about the future. Jorge pointed to Stockade and said, "You think this guy is the future?" And I got to a point where Jorge and Stockade got into it. Eventually Vince Steele and Chris Reyes come out, and Stockade nails Rivera with a chair, causing him to bleed. And Astro Morales had come out to try to make the save. He gets attacked. William Wyeth came out, tried to make the save. He was attacked. And then Mike Jr., I believe, took the microphone saying there are no heroes left. And the New Age Wrecking Crew left the ring, and then all the carnage was sorted out. And from there, in a three-way matchup, Defiance, Chris Caden, and Raymond Risk defeated The Movement and Too Hot, Too Furious to become the brand new Ace Tag Team Champions. This gives Caden and Risk their first taste of Ace Pro Wrestling Gold. At that point, they had gone to intermission. And then the action resumed with Alvin Alvarez defeating Ricky Richards, who had the cute Sammy Pickles in his corner. Then in a three-way triple threat matchup, Chris Reyes defeated Mike Donovan and Josh Starks to retain the Fight for Flight Championship. A very good three-way matchup. Up next, Flawless Blake Morris defeated Rob Vegas in a very good matchup. Then in the main event, the Devil's Outlaw Stockade defeated Andrew Tiny Johnson to retain the Heavyweight Championship after Thorson Creed interfered, and Thorson has now joined the New Age Wrecking Crew. After the match ended, Vince Steele and Chris Reyes, as well as Mike Morgan Jr., come out to continue the onslaught on Tiny. Astro Morales tried to help. Jorge Rivera came out with a chain around his fist, but the numbers game caught up with him. But then at that point, the Midnight Rider hit the ring, pointing directly at Stockade, and at that point, the New Age Wrecking Crew and Mike Morgan Jr. skedaddled out of the ring. A lot of things went down at this show, and as I said, this was the best show so far this year for Ace, and I say the best show they've had ever since Crossroads. Oh, thank you to Millie for driving me to the show when she saw me walking along Main Street in Wallington. Good seeing, talking with Shady Torres. Who else? Ryan Peterson, Dan Acosta. For the second month in a row, I had to move out of the way when wrestlers were coming near me. I was sure it looked like this may have been the biggest turnout in Wallington this year. I think maybe it had a lot to do with maybe Jorge returning or maybe something else of that nature. Aftermath is the next show on Saturday, May 10th. I think, I don't know if it's going to be, I'd like to see an 8-man, well, it can't be, yeah, it could be an 8-man tag. I could see Stockade, the whole New Age Wrecking Crew, well, almost whole. The New Age Wrecking Crew, Stockade, Vince Steele, Chris Reyes, and Thorson Creed take on the Midnight Rider, Jorge Luis Rivera, Andrew Tiny Johnson, and Astro Morales. If not, but then again, that means no single title matches. I would like to see the new tag team champions, Defiance, defend the belts against the Movement, since that match did not happen at Destined for Greatness in March. I'm definitely going to have to, definitely going to update some threads on the Ace Pro Wrestling message board. And, wow, definitely a lot went, definitely a great show, and it's still feeling the natural high of being there. I mean, it was an awesome show, and I don't know. I mean, if William Wyeth is going to eventually have a match with Mike Morgan Jr. somewhere down the road. But yeah, definitely a very good show, and I'm so glad to be there. I wish I could bring more fans to the shows. Well, that'll do it from here, Ace Nation.